Let's crack the code for using Pentart Fine Line Crackle. I'm going to show you step by step how I apply Fine Line Crackle for the best results on an easy project. I'm going to start with this MDF frame base. You can use any base that you want for your decoupage, but the important thing is to make sure that you have applied the Pentart white primer to the area where you are going to apply your decoupage paper to assure a nice bright image result. Here I'm using some Pentart Pigment Fix with a gold metal mica powder, and I'm mixing these two together to create my favorite gold paint. I'm going to go ahead and prep the frame before I decoupage. This is a two-part frame, so I'm tracing out the outer edge of the frame onto the base, and that is where I'm going to apply my paint, because the white area that I've left unpainted will be where I decoupage. This is a Monahan paper. It's a heavier stock of paper. I'm using that today, but you can use rice paper or tissue paper, whatever your preferred decoupage paper is. I trace out the inside of the frame, and then I'm going to cut the image out to fit that area. I'll link all the products that I'm using today in the description box below. This is phase one of our Pentart Fine Line Crackle process. Phase one is when we apply the decoupage medium and prepare the surface. I'm using Pentart's Decoupage Varnish and Glue to adhere the paper to the background of the frame. You want to make sure you apply a generous coat of that Decoupage Varnish and Glue so that you don't have any dry areas underneath the paper. Press that in place and then brush over the top with a finish coat of that same Decoupage Varnish and Glue. From this point on, we don't want any water-based product to touch your Pentart Fine Line Crackle. The Pentart Fine Line Crackle comes with two parts, component 1 and component 2. Once you apply the Fine Line Crackle component 1 and component 2, they are going to combine together in a magical chemical reaction, and you must never let any kind of water or water-based product touch them. That means no water, no baby wipes, no wet paper towels, no wet brushes. Now it's time to apply the first component. This is component 1 of the Fine Line Crackle. It looks like a white glue. I apply this coat generously with a soft, dry brush. You want to keep this product moving so that it doesn't lift or drag across the surface. Reload your brush and keep that Fine Line Crackle component number 1 moving smoothly along the surface of your project. Allow this coat to dry completely until it becomes transparent. When your first component has dried, we're going to use component 2. With a dry, soft brush, apply component 2 in a very generous layer. You don't want your brush to lift or drag along the surface. Reload the brush with plenty of component 2 to keep that brush flowing smoothly across the surface. And then allow your piece to dry for about 24 hours. If you don't see the cracks appearing, you can give it a little blast from a hairdryer and they should start. Now that each component has dried completely, it's time to put the finish on the Fine Line Crackle. You must only use a solvent-based finish. That's the stinky stuff. That's the stuff that's flammable. That's the stuff that has the danger and the warning signs on the label. If you use any kind of water-based finish or a Debbie's DIY wax or a Fusion mineral paint wax, it's going to gum up the surface of your project. So only solvent-based products to finish. It's the stinky stuff that requires ventilation. The Pentart liquid patina and wax paste are what is going to reveal those fine line cracks. You can use either one, it's just a matter of personal preference. After you apply the liquid patina, you want to remove the excess with a soft, dry cloth. If you use the Pentart Antique Paste, you can massage that into the surface of your project with your gloved hand, warming up the wax and allowing that to press into all of those fine cracks. Then wipe away the excess with a soft, dry cloth and repeat the process until the fine line cracks are filled. Now it's time to add the finish. I recommend the Pentart Glossy solvent-based varnish for the best result. And remember that because this is a solvent-based product, you'll need to clean your brush with a solvent cleaner. Apply the glossy varnish over the surface and then allow this to dry completely. When my finish had dried, I used the Pentart Express glue to glue those frame pieces together. Let us know in the comments if you've had any challenges with fine line crackle, and let's see if we can work them out together. EJG'S is a brick and mortar shop in Medina, New York. We have listed all of the products we've used in the description box below, and you can find us at EJG'S.com.